So today we will talk about how connections are everything and how we can leverage our employees through employer branding for our content marketing efforts. So we will try to kind of look into how relationships work, especially how they work online and what the benefits in general are. I will try to go into what our general strategy is, what our chances are using and enhancing this strategy. I will try to give you an insight of what platforms we're using and what our general tools are in our social media efforts as well as content marketing efforts. Our main topic obviously is how to do better content marketing through employee marketing. For us as a consulting business and as Trivadas in general, our employees are our main resource. We are working with you and you are the people who are directly at the customers, with the customers and know them best and also know your industry best. So we want to try and leverage you into thought leaders for your specific interest, your know-how, etc. Generally, we want to make sure that you know that your social contacts are yours, so we don't try to take this over. But social media does not differentiate between an employee and a person, just a general person. What we're trying to do is create a platform where we can share things and you have the power to share whatever you think is appropriate for your social media platforms, because in general social media moves way too fast to put in any real approval process. So if we would just go back and forth on what is approvable or not, then we would not get anywhere. We want to generally strengthen our brand with you as strong employees. Employees in general communicate in their social media channels, and every person communicates in social media through messages, through references, blog posts, etc., and just kind of sharing and leveraging up what they deem interesting, and that is kind of how we move through social media. And we want to use the employee as a disseminator in there and kind of push out all of the Trivadas communication that we do over different kinds of platforms over the employee to a broader reach. So we reach more people who are also generally interested in the same kind of know-how and try to get them to directly come to us as a thought leader. And also obviously recognize you as an employee as a thought leader in your respective, know-how, as well as us as the, company standing behind you. What our leading platform is and what we have kind of just introduced is SMART. It's an employee branding platform where we kind of open up a social media platform for sharing and for commenting on things that are relevant to our industry, as well as what we produce ourselves. So we try to go into content marketing quite heavily and produce interesting and relevant content in our industry, which is generally IT. And so you actually know what we produce. We use SMART to show it to you, but we definitely are counting on you to also push to us what you think is relevant. So we kind of broaden not just our horizons, but your own. And that is kind of what we're trying to achieve in a kind of win-win system, trying to leverage you up to a thought leader and taking us with you. So what do we do with SMART in general? SMART, as you can say, is easy. You can propose posts, you can comment on them, you can interact with your colleagues, because this platform is basically a social media platform just for all people from Trivadas, all Trivadas employees, and you can push to us any relevant information that you think your colleagues should know, should see, should read, etc. And we will do the same. So if we have a new blog post, if we have a new press release, just generally any kind of information, any technical articles that you might find interesting will be put on SMARP, and you can decide if you want to read it, if you want to share it, where you want to share it, or how in any way, shape or form you want to consume it. Generally, yes, SMARP also makes you smarter, or we try to make you smarter here, because we want to give you some insight in how actually your sharings, your comments, etc. work. So we try to give you with SMARP a bit of an analytics tool. I mean, we're all IT guys and we're all into data, so I think this is going to be really interesting for a lot of people, because you can see in an overview which kind of topics your social connections like and interact with, and kind of see where you can keep on going in this line, which is kind of what we do in marketing as well, but for your own connections. I think it will give you much greater insight on what your surroundings actually find interesting. SMARP is fun, yes. With each share and with each proposed post, you get points that you can, in a gamification system, turn into rewards. So either Amazon vouchers or nice, as you do, Swiss Army knives. But yeah, get an insight, be the leader of the week, the month, or forever. We try to make this a interesting and a fun experience for all of you. And generally, we also love to get feedback, obviously, just to, throw that in between. But to get away from SMARP and to give you a bit of an overview of what we as Trivadas actually do, if you haven't really seen or been around there too much, it's our most prominent channels are LinkedIn, Xing, Twitter, and Facebook, which we try to keep very active to put our content that we create, and we're continuously creating new content out there, and try to get a feel of what not just our customers want, but also what a broader range of people want. Knowledge wise, we're trying to set ourselves up as high quality content that goes deep into technical issues, but not keep into this techie range where we have been, and not just share technical articles, but actually make people who might not be so into it already actually understand what is the problem, what is actually blockchain, and not that it's not just a cryptocurrency thing, for example. And that is generally what we try to achieve with our social media strategy. We recommend generally to use in your sharing efforts, or also what you want to achieve, and get a bit of an overview of the professional networks. So, Twitter and Facebook are usually very, personalized social media networks. And on the other hand, the professional networks are generally LinkedIn and Xing, mainly actually in Germany still. LinkedIn in general is the biggest, player in this field. It has, a Swiss market share of 1.8 million people, which is quite a lot for Swiss standards. I think that's at least 20% of the Swiss population, which is quite a lot. But really interesting, there's a very, very high share of decisions makers there. So this is a possibility for you to get in contact with people you normally maybe would not have. And so give LinkedIn a try, and we're trying to give you kind of the tools to set up your LinkedIn account in the next few steps, and how to actually use it.